It's the NFL on EA Sports.
And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets. All that and more coming up next.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Greg Zuerlein set to get us started here, and off we go from MetLife Stadium. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when their body's on the field and he's creating with big throws downfield.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Here's Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Back to throw here, Herbert. It's taken in by Quentin Johnston. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. 19 yards for J.K. Dobbins. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
But for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the 3rd round. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys
like
in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
To throw, it's Rodgers. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers 39. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. Gets through and now an opening. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
And he gets it down to the 32.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Call again on second down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on third down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
Now it's the Rams' second all-time leading scorer kicking in a Dallas uniform, Greg Zuerlein. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. Here's Herbert. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The former third overall pick, Quentin Williams, there to bring him down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Herbert off of play action. He's got a man. It's his fullback. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
3rd and 5. Herbert. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
A little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And he showcases the spin, a pretty good gain before he's taken down. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll run with Hall. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Rodgers now to throw. Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
To throw is Rodgers. This completes a Corley. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 44-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Second and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 32-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Rodgers going to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Now Rodgers. Throw out wide is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. But it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it 2nd down and 11. Herbert now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Nice little juke. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 53 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Herbert. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Throwing now is Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hall ought to give up the middle. Down to about the 22 here. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Hall again. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now it's Herbert. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over. New York ready to go again offensively. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Going right back to Wilson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and a yard. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. That one taken in by Corley. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Running left, it's Hall. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Taken in left side, it's Wilson. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Rodgers now to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Joey Bosa from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. To throw is Rodgers. He finds Wilson, and he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Now it's Rodgers. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. Rodgers going to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Charger D making things difficult, and it's fourth down. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it first and 10. Herbert. On the out route, he finds Johnston. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Here's Herbert. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on second and 4. Herbert now. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw here, Herbert. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were treated to a fine first half from running back J.K. Dobbins. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this 3rd quarter. But they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Hall again on 2nd down. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They'll work with 4 receivers here on 3rd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
A 4 receiver set here on 3rd down. They're going to spread the field and make you play sideline to sideline, make you defend every blade of grass. Good spacing there offensively as they get the completion and the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. This completes a Corley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. On 1st and 10, it's Hall, pushing his way inside the 40. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 70 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This 2nd and 4. That is incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. And I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Working from the gun, Rodgers over the middle, and it's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers to throw once more. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good 2nd half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Herbert. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now Rodgers. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now it's Herbert. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 63 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. They'll go again with Dobbins. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Herbert being chased out left. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. They'll try the air now with Herbert. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Looking to throw. Herbert. And his throw here's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnston. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers have retaken a third quarter lead. He's given them a little jolt, just gave them the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Herbert and the Chargers staying put. They'll line up and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. It's caught at the 1. And he'll get into the end zone to push the lead up to a field goal. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 53 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
On first down, right back to Hall. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Throw over the middle. He's got Ruckert. It'll be a gain of 5. And now it's 3rd and 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Rodgers. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. To throw is Rodgers. Touchdown! Tyler Conklin from 4 yards out. And the Jets answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out come the Chargers. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown. Their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 24. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
That's going to be caught. It's Palmer.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And they'll send the tight end in motion.
A shotgun snap and again to Dobbins.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
The offense on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. He's got his target. That's complete.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Dobbins.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Over the middle, complete. It's Johnston. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Herbert. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Quentin Williams picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here.
From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did, you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
And that's complete to Adams. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself, because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Straight ahead is home. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Rodgers now to throw. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. To throw, it's Rodgers. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. The Chargers offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. from the shotgun. Here's Herbert. It's wheeled in downfield by Johnston. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the gun, Herbert. And a huge mistake late. It's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The New York set to take the field. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. And right side, they're going to go option here. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. A handoff for Hall. Ooh, with a juke. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert and the Chargers down 19-18. A minute 45 to play. A field goal would be a game winner as they come up on 1st down. Now Herbert. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And now out come the Jets. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here's 3rd and 6. Rodgers to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. And my, how the tables have turned now. They were trying to salt this one away, but that interception, potentially a game changer.
And I've just got to think to myself, at this point of the game, I know you've been aggressive. I know that's your MO, and that's fine. And all those teams that talk about all gas, no brakes, you better have the emergency lever to pull occasionally. They could have used it right there. They put themselves in a tough spot with that interception.
The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. This is 1st and 10. Throwing, Herbert. He's got the hook up downfield to McConkey. Now he breaks free in the middle of the field. He may go. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the 4th quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Herbert and the Chargers staying put. They'll line up and go for 2. They'll look to throw. And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The home team's offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw, Rodgers. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Deion Henry. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it. And that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The Chargers ready to take over.
And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here's 3rd and 9. Try to take this home. They'll run.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
Here's 1st and 10.
Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.